Hello everyone, I'm Level 36 and welcome back to Stationeers. Last time, when we were here, we set up some IC10 control for our silos. So now this IC10 here can read what we select here, and when we push a button it dispenses it down into the abyss. That works great and all, except for we can't write to it from anywhere else. Which we kind of want to be able to do. We want to be able to write to it from, like, our furnace area. So we started to try and mess around with a little thing called and laptop will become important here in a second. We started messing around with a logic bridge, or logic mirror. Yep. See if we could write directly to this, but we cannot write back through the logic mirror, which is unfortunate. So we are going to uninstall it and install it the other way again. And I did the same thing again. I guess a logic reader would technically work too, and it might actually work better. We're gonna do that for now. We're gonna have to reset this real quick, because I think that this was logic mirror is set to button. We want this to be set to logic reader. And then we're also going to want, so I think I have tools just absolutely everywhere because I can't organize my inventory to save my life. We're going to rewrite this real quick. So I modified the selection script a lot. I minified a lot of it because I actually ended up running out of lines. So apologies if this is harder to follow, but I added this section where we look for the bridge, which is the logic mirror on D3. And then if the bridge is not equal to 0, we're going to jump to this recipe section. Recipe down here basically just looks to see, hey, is the bridge hash and each of these correspond to an ingot hash? I had to do this because I literally ran out of lines when I had coded all of the ingot hashes up here. But it knows what recipe is required. So like all of our basic ingots, I can tell this is iron, copper, gold, silicon. It's writing a static version of this to it. This is like steel, so we do iron, 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 coal. These BRNEs, branch relative not equal. So if register 10 is not equal to this hash, branch 6 lines down. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, we're at the end of this. I had to do this because I was actually doing a jump after each one of these to save on processing time and equations, but I quite literally ran out of room. So yeah, but at the end we sleep for 1 just to give it time to, in case this stays set for longer than 1 cycle for some reason, and then we return to main. And then main should just keep self-looping. Maybe? Oh, I commented out jump main. Yeah. Jump main. Main should just keep self-looping until... Oh no, we wanted that one cut out because we jump main here. Yeah. We can actually just remove that. Save myself some heartache later. We can add that extra line back in though. Yeah. So this is a bit of a convoluted script, but it should theoretically work. Let us export that to this IC. Bit larger of a script. Throw that in there. Not doing anything, which is good. This is still functional. But now we can go back inside and do the other part of this. Last time, I'm actually going to turn this back on. We had just went and tried to see if this would work, but it did not. So we're going to need to rewrite this script. Also, I want... This isn't even going to be this place's final home, but I'm going to grab a steel sheet and my welder real quick so that we can add a display so we can see what in the world we are doing. I only planned ahead for one episode. Consoles. Print one of those, please. Iron sheets. Do I have steel sheets? There we go. We need a hash display. And that. So this becomes easy to cut out in the future. Hash display and sheet of glass. I'm also going to need my data disk. Ah. Also, actually, I think I need a logic memory kit is what I want to use. Logic mem. It is made from kit logic memory. One of you, please. One of you, please. Logic memory will probably make more sense here in a second. They're just called IC housing. We want IC housing. The reasoning for the logic memory cell is that since I am using a logic reader, we can actually just get out over here. This over here, if we actually set this up real quick while we're over here, in is going to be our logic memory, and we are going to grab the setting. Yeah. That's set to 0 right now. Okay. So because we're grabbing the setting off of this logic memory cell, we can use this to display the hash based on the dial position, but then when we push the button, that confirms the request, and that's actually what writes it to that memory cell. To do this, though, we are going to need to update our script a little bit. Since we're having my hash table, would have been convenient to have it saved. I should have saved that. Let's save this as self dial button M or memory. Don't need all of this guff down here. Something important to note when doing IC10 code is if you do write code off of the end of the screen, it does get deleted. So it won't just prevent you from adding new lines, it will just nuke your existing stuff. This would actually be easier up here. Memory. Not going to put anything into memory. Oops. We're going to set M setting art. Now all we have to do is add in some other stuff. We can get rid of this as well. One second. I'm either going to look something up and find out something amazing, or I am going to add in the rest of the hash table. One moment, please. I don't think the thing that I was hoping was going to work in the end. So I just made a dictionary, big old define block. So now we just need to copy and paste this a whole bunch more times. And hopefully not run out of lines. We should be pretty okay, though. I don't think we're going to have that many. The iron ingots. Let's do this a whole bunch of times. So there are 3 super alloys missing from my list, or 2 super alloys missing. And the reason is that real quick. Essentially, they require steel as an input, and I don't know how I'm going to handle that exactly. So I'm going to come back to those essentially. So iron ingots, copper ingot, get silicon ingot, lead ingot. Could I have done this just with the item hashes? Yes. Do I feel like doing that? No. Am I ever going to actually need a nickel ingot? Probably not. Did I code it in here anyway? Also, yes. Now we're getting to some of our normal alloys. Invar. Eel. Spectrum. Spectrum ingot. Solder. Wasp alloy. So yeah, the two that require steel as an input, either I'm going to need to wait, I copied that one twice. Just because I have it in here twice. Oh geez, what did I screw up? Eight 1 4. I think I grabbed and accidentally copied over. Wasp alloy is 098 814. This should be paste alloy. Yeah. Good night. They're going to require a lot of stuff because we're dispensing stuff in increments of 50. So like if we look at astro alloy, for example, this requires 0.5 steel. So because we're dispensing stuff in increments of 50, if we wanted to make one set, one complete recipe with 50 increment inputs, we would have to take this 0.5 as a increment of 200. So we would need 3 iron, 1 coal, 2 copper, 2 cobalt. That's a lot of ingredients. So we might hand feed these, or we might try something else. But that's why I did not include those off the bat. I add in the rest of our jumps. And that it just goes to next. So now we need to know how many we have here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I think this needs to go to 23. That looks correct. Let's just make sure my logic self-setting R0. Wait a minute. This was that debug code I added. Let me select the whole line. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do that. We just take this, add 1, multiply by 2, jump, and then we look for that activate signal, and then we're going to go to add request. Add request, we set the memory cell to the setting, we yield. We're going to set the memory setting to 0, and then we're going to jump back to main. That way it doesn't stay set. So just yield for a second there. At the end of all this, we have a yield as well. Firm, export, grab, insert, dial, button, set this to memory. So that should be that. So now should be able to set this to a much higher value. Let's say we wanted 1 iron. So this, if this works, this should dump out a single stack of 50 iron. Is it damaged? Oh, that's weird. Maybe I inputted some damaged ore at some point. But it worked. But now let's try something trickier. See if this whole thing falls apart. I want steel. So I want to check something real quick. I don't know if I have enough to get steel, but that is the point. Yeah, I only have 1 stack of iron in there currently. What do I have, actually? Lead, nickel, cobalt, coal, lead, nickel, cobalt, coal. I'll have to find something that's a multi-recipe. So this should fail over, and it should not actually deliver it to me. No matter how many times I ask. We don't have enough to actually get steel. But let's see. Push button. I heard it do something. So it seems to have theoretically worked because we didn't get anything out the output pipe. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's see if we can find something that we actually can make real quick. No, that doesn't have my iron, nickel. That should work. So what one was that? Invar. Oh, it works. It works. I'm so excited. I never thought I'd be so excited by 2 little things plopping out of a freaking conveyor line. That's really cool. All right. So now we can in theory actually control this all the way from over here. So anything that sets that memory cell should in theory work. Also, I actually do need to change my filter and like filter CO2. What are we using right now? Medium filters. What do medium filters require? Constantine, silver, iron. We'll do that. I want 3 of these, please. We'll have to send these to the recycler at some point. I have a plan. We're gonna actually do some automation. I need a lot more chutes. A lot more chutes. Oh, our mood goes up if we're in a room. That's neat. Gotta set up our recycling system now. I think I know how I want to do it now that I've learned a thing or two about the good old IC10 system. Alright. Potatoes are growing pretty well. I do wish on the liquids tank, instead of this being a pressure gauge in quotations, this was a fill gauge. Because, right, like, it's useless the way it is. A fill gauge would make much more sense. Alright. So, what was I going to do? Oh, I need to print like a bunch of shoots. Absolutely annihilate any amount of iron we still have in the system. For the sake of making a whole bunch of shoots. Because we need to plumb that all the way over to here. Also, I think we're going to reclaim some shoots real quick. I think it's time to decommission good old auto furnace V1. You were a furnace of all time. If we ever feel like we really need this again, it's not like it was exactly hard to set up. But there's a lot of resources here we can just outright get back, which is pretty nice. I think this was actually the first thing we automated, which was kind of... It was nice to have an automated something. It's just not as needed anymore now that we have the, like, really good advanced furnace setup. I gotta get the terrain tool so I can fill in some of these holes in the floor. Oh, and I appear to have gotten myself stuck. Perfect. And we're gonna grab our screwdriver. Claim some logic kits, and then grab our wrench. And finally our angle grinder. Tear this out. Full and proper. Going like it never even happened. That. Not having room. Just yeet it inside. There we go. Is the idea being we don't really need to actually like drop these on the floor here, because we're not like, we don't want to carry stuff over manually. So more wrench. I need a hand drill for that one. Just a simple change as routing it off to that side. Ah, we're offset one. All right. Now, anything that the furnace melts up, will get turned into ingots, which will automatically head back to that. We should probably add a sorter to dump out reagents in case we do have to cancel a smelt. We'll do that eventually. I'm sure we'll get to it, and I won't forget totally. And we're out of iron. Are we, like, out of iron that quickly? Jeez. Well, I guess I need to do a mining mission after this. Hopefully we can acquire enough iron. Let's go back to iron. Ideally, this would just go straight over to the furnace, but we're not quite there yet. Hmm. We have an iron, right? Yes. Why are we not getting said iron? Did we bork something? That worked. Wonder why it wasn't working from down below. Somehow I have a feeling the system is not nearly as reliable as I'm gonna hope it's gonna be. Hmm. We don't even technically need power for this story. There's definitely iron in the system now, because I just added iron into the system. Unless the system is jammed because there's too much other stuff already in here. No, I just forgot. We have plenty of iron. Just if we leave the hydraulic pipe bender on, all of the stuff that this is requesting will go to the hydraulic pipe bender instead. There we go. More flaws in our system. Okay. Back to what we were doing. Running this chute. All the ways over here. But we do need some more chutes. Wish I would have noticed that back when I first requested 50 additional chutes. At least it doesn't take long to make these. Okay. Then we just need to connect that to that. This should hopefully be enough to do. Then we need to do some more electrical wizardry. Okay. Okay. So now... Now, I wonder, since it has data connections on both sides. So now, anything that gets requested will get automatically sent into the furnace. And then the furnace... I wonder. So realistically, we don't need all this down in the basement. This was just all proof of concept stuff. So if we rip all of this out, so first of all, let's grab our IC chip, IC housing, some stuff we don't necessarily need. Let's not leave it in the doors though, because that's just a recipe for bad times. Is this gonna short out and blow up, or is it gonna work? One way to find out. I'm sure there's more than one way, but there's one exciting way to find out. Hasn't blown up yet. I think we just saved ourselves a logic module. Turn that on because we have all this on. We already have a dial here. And we actually already have a hash tool. Don't have room for more blood. I guess we could do one below there. Do not have room for an additional button. Well, when we pretty up the walls in here. Or actually, let's just put one. Put it here for now. Stapler. I actually want a new IC10 circuit. I think I'm gonna hold on to this one. Let's print up another one. Another one. I may actually want to set up that, like, simple request circuit again. This one is going to be slightly different because we're going to actually just read the hash right from the other system that is generating hashes already, so we don't have to do it again. later because I need my laptop. We need to grab the hash. Yeah, the hash IC, because if we set this to 1, get iron. So the hash IC is going to be... Let's grab this one, edit. Hash IC. And well, actually, no. Let's just do this. Hash ice. We're not going to set anything in main. All we are going to do is set the memory cell to the value of the hash. That's all we should need to do, so we don't need any of this guff. And delete all of our dictionary. I'm going to say this, I'm just immediately regretty spaghetti it, aren't I? Technically, we could even use the furnace button. The only reason I don't want to is because of... They should be fine. So those are just respond with unknown and then unset. Do button 1. No, we'll just do it this way to start, and then if I decide I want to change it. So we're going to load into R0 our hash IC setting. No need for add, no need for mult, no need jump relative. Honestly, all this stuff, I could have just started with a blank script, and it probably would have been faster. Add request. We can just... Yeah, in main, all we're going to do is look for the button activation signal. And then in add request, we're going to set memory setting equal... Actually, we're going to load into R2 from hash IC the setting, set memory equal to yield R2 yield. I'm going to double yield here, just in case it does a weird timing error. Yield, set memory setting equal to 0, jump main. That is like a little mini script. Barely does anything. We want self hash button memory. Export. Loop. Loop. Hash IC. West ore. Logic memory. Okay. In theory now. I think I said I had, yeah, I have nickel in the system. So this should now be equal to nickel if we push that button. How long it's going to take to get here. Let's go look to see if it even dispensed, because I deconstructed. Yeah, I'm going to have to go reset that up. That makes sense, because I deconstructed the memory cell, so this definitely needs a quick reconfig. Turn you off real quick. Logic memory setting. Turn you back on. Okay. Now let's go try that again. I want 1 ingot of nickel, please. And it worked. It worked. We can request stuff automagically, and if we just hit yes, it'll do a quick thing, theoretically idealizing the temperature and pressure real quick. It's already good. Fine. Well, a little bit of waste gas. Boop. Now we have a completely useless ingot in our system. But that's okay. It worked. For once, something I thought of worked. And was actually slightly less complex than I was originally making it out to be. Ah, that's cool. That's really cool. I know what that means. Is in theory, we could actually transpose all of these controls to, like, here. But we'd never actually have to go touch this. And maybe not. So I don't think, yeah, there's no heat bleed, so it shouldn't matter if we are up against this. Awesome. Well, now we can actually use our proper furnace to make our things, so smelting stuff should be a lot faster. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm really happy that worked. I'm actually incredibly happy that that worked. Okay. With that now functioning correctly, I think that this is a pretty good milestone to say that let's get back to actually working on the base itself proper. So I'm going to do a... I keep having project ideas that would make building the base itself easier, but I should just build it, because realistically getting together enough walls and stuff, it's not going to be that difficult. We have plenty of iron, which is what we're going to need most of, and then some steel. But I'm going to do some mining expedition, probably expeditions, to acquire a bunch more. We definitely need to build some more solar panels. A bunch more iron. A bunch more, well, just a bunch more everything. We can store a ton of stuff now, so getting a bunch of ingots of any variety, or a bunch of ores of any variety, is going to be to our advantage now. I wonder. I just want to see. We're not quite at, like, my typical end of session time. It's our console. Make me just one for now. I just want to see if my optional device handling actually worked. So we can get a readout of the stuff in our network. But essentially, what I was getting at is we have enough materials now to actually enclose the rest of our base. Because we've had, like, a lot of these projects that have finished for way too long. So I'm going to finish building the walls on our base. This does mean that we need to decide where our actual airlock is going to go. In its final form. We even actually have a cable here ready for this. Oops, I didn't want that there. I thought that was higher than it was. Man. Ah! Big hole there. We actually need to have something. Go get a wall real quick. But yeah, time to build the rest of the walls. We need to decide where our actual base airlock is going to go, and I think I want to put it out there. A little entryway here. This will eventually get converted from what it is today. But theoretically, once we pressurize the base itself, so we weld up all of the walls. And by the base itself, I think right now what I mean is this room, the Atmos room, the furnace room, upstairs, maybe the battery room. I guess we could just build a little airlock out here as our temporary airlock. I don't know. There's a lot of building that's going to need to happen. A lot of welding, a lot of getting stuff. I need to replace these walls as well, because, God, these are ugly. But just the ability to walk around to most of our areas without our suit on will be a very nice improvement. So that's kind of the goal. I'd like to get there. I wanted to grab a wall of some sort. I know I have some. Yep, kit wall. Screwdriver. Probably turn this off while I'm doing this. What are you actually called? LED display. Of course, we actually have nothing in there. So maybe that wasn't the best one to try that on. Oops. Well. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I'd like to get our walls up, our areas pressurized. I guess theoretically we could, because these are actually airlocks, like these function as airlocks. So we could just rock and roll like we have it right now. The only annoying part is if we do this, it is going to mean that our elevator to the upstairs and to the downstairs is going to not work anymore, because these are not airlocks. Unless I was to make a airlock down here. Well, it's not the end of the world, because if we just close and lock that door, we can just fly up and down in here, and maybe we'll even put an elevator over on this side so that we can just get up and down in our Atmos room, because that would be nice. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what we want to do. But yes. Still a lot to do, but I think I'm going to, yeah, do some mining and plan out how I want to go about pressurizing this place. Have a place to walk around without our suit on. Maybe build out our main airlock so that we can have a nice entry and exit to the base. Focus on some more quality of life improvements. Actually finish up some of these projects. You know what? The most important area to enclose, solar array. Even if we don't pressurize it, just getting that enclosed so we don't have the freaking sandstorms. Ugh. Make my life so much easier. Yeah, I think that's priority number 1 is fully enclose the solar array. And probably expand it. As we intended, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 10, so that'd be 50 solar panels. That should carry us a little bit longer. So yeah. I think next episode is going to be expand and improve. Extend and enclose the solar array so that we don't have to deal with sandstorms ruining my day anymore. So, I'll catch you all next time. If you've listened to the last 5 minutes of me rant about what I think I might do next time, and we'll probably get distracted by something else again, please drop a like and subscribe. Your support helps out a ton. Point out to me where I've done something terribly wrong. This might have been a stupid, but I think it's a great improvement. So be sure to leave a comment if you would like to tell me something that I have done stupid or could do better. I will be posting IC scripts for all this stuff as usual. Each of the IC scripts I used or /wrote, if you want them. Even if I didn't use, I'll post the one I didn't use, but you may want. And what else was I thinking? Oh, be sure to leave a comment if you have any suggestions for a more concise tutorial of something that I've done. So if you'd like to see like exactly how I set up this machine, and also plus, you know, tool manufacturing, rocket manufacturing, etc., and have me clean up the code and like make it work 100% of the time, let me know. If you'd like to see a more concise tutorial of how to set up this silo array, because you can also use this for ingots. I decided not to. I'm just going to use the vending machine for at least right now to manage my ingots. But you could use this exact array, and even with like a little bit of extra logic and stuff, just actually continue this array to do any ingots you wanted to store as well. You might have to create like another IC or two to manage the request process, because these ICs get, this one's, where's the one that's like, yeah, this one's gotten pretty chunky of its amount of stuff it can hold. But like these chips will work. Honestly, you could do one of these chips per two arrays as well, or two silos, so that would probably be nice to have done. So if you'd like to see the tutorial of that with my code, a tutorial of my manufacturing setup, a tutorial, while this is not my furnace code, but a tutorial of the furnace setup that I used, I'd be happy to show that. My atmospheric setup, or when I eventually finish this atmospheric setup. It's another thing that needs done. It works, so I stopped working on it. And it could definitely work better. But yeah, drop a comment if you'd like to see any of that stuff that I just mentioned. I do hope that you have enjoyed. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you all next time.